Okay. Let's make sure the audio is working. Let's wait for that to load on my end. Yay! She's looking good. Okay. Is this working?
Is this working?
Yes, bless. Okay. I'm going to put my computer on silent. If you are able to join live, I will be interacting with you. I'm going to take these glasses off. They're blocking your ability to look into my eyes, which I think is an important part of channeling live. Now, I'm just going to shuffle the decks. As far as I can see, I did not prepare this reading, so I'm pretty sure no one's joining us live. But in future, if you're able to join me live, I highly recommend you come to these readings with an intention set about what you want to hear in relation to the title. So Gemini, we will be getting predictions for the rest of your January. I'm going to be pulling cards from this Celestial Bodies Oracle deck, which will give us main themes. And then we're going to break down those themes into specific predictions with tarot. And I'm using the Light Seers Tarot deck. I'm going to set my intention as your reader and keep shuffling. Do anything you need to in the background to prepare for the reading. Spirit, please tune me into my Gemini's energies. Those that chose this reading, please help me offer them the most clear, honest messages about their January, about the rest of your January. Hi, Angie. Oh, thank you so much. I'm hoping to do fire signs tomorrow, and I should be able to do fire signs and water signs in one day. We'll see how we go, but welcome everybody. You came just in time. I've just finished shuffling. I appreciate you for being here. And I've also welcome cross-watch. My bad. That was an alarm. Okay. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. Spirit, tune me into Gemini's energy. What is happening in January for Gemini? We have Trine coming out for Gemini first. What else is happening in January for Gemini? We have Sun. There's some of that Leo energy, Angie. Beautiful. And I'll get one more card. What else is happening in Gemini? For Gemini in January. I'll keep these off to the side. At the back of the deck, we have Scorpio. And the card that actually came out to be in the trio is the number 9. The other cards that are supplementing the number 9 are the number 11 and the sign of Aries. We'll talk about that at the end because I do like to address the themes consecutively. So we're going to start with Trine. Now, with this card being reversed, a major theme for Gemini for the rest of January is about noticing how things aren't working as well as they used to. It could feel like a pattern that used to be really successful for you, a relationship especially that was really successful for you, has kind of hit a blockage. It's not working as well as it used to, and we have to identify what we want to do about that. We don't seem to fully understand why it's not working as well anymore, but we can't ignore that it isn't. And so it's up to us to figure out what are we going to do about this. What is happening with this Trine energy, Spirit, for Gemini? What is happening with this Trine energy? Okay, We have the King of Wands coming out. Whoa. We also have the Three of Swords coming out reversed. And at the back of the deck is the Lover's card. So that's your energy, Gemini. This is very much about standing in your power. And your power is your mind, your ability to read a situation and to see things that other people miss. You also have a very powerful gut instinct. A lot of the air signs do. But with this Lover's card, you need to channel your gut instinct, your ability to scour information and to read between the lines to come to a decision. This is involving a relationship more than anything. And you're acknowledging that in order for the connection to work better, in order for you and this other person to be on the same page and to be able to work together, you need to have a difficult conversation about your future. With the Three of Swords reversed, this could be issues you've already raised. It's like we already tried to talk about this, and now we really need to see action. We can't just let it be words that hang over our heads. We have to start putting those words into action, and we have to start making some sort of plan. With this King of Wands, you could be dealing with a fire sign or someone who has fire in their charts. But the King of Wands is an ambitious leader who isn't afraid to step up, to take initiative, and to tell other people what the plan is so that everyone feels involved. This could be about keeping the spark or the passion in the relationship as well. There's ambition to this, so the goal is to achieve something you haven't really been able to achieve with this person. But we're trying to bring back that spark, that passion here. So in the next 2 weeks, it's time for action. It's time for you to make decisions and for you to continue these important conversations and for you to make sure that, you know, the can of worms is open. You're aware of the fact that this isn't working. So we need to do something about it now. That's what I'm seeing over there. Let's have a look at your next theme now. We have the Sun. So your second theme is about your ego. It's about how you see yourself, and it's about how you want others to see you. So sometimes this can impact our mental health and our well-being, but for you, this just feels like you're trying to figure out how to move confidently in the world around you. You're trying to display your best self, and you're trying to make others believe that you've got it all together for some reason. You guys could be feeling like you have to be the bigger person, but I want to pull some cards from Tarot just to figure out how this is all playing out for the rest of January. How is this playing out for the rest of January, Spirit? How is this playing out for the rest of January? Okay. We have the Knight of Swords coming out, which to me is another Gemini card. So we've got 2 cards that represent your energy, which is also quite empowering, if I can say. As a reader, if I see a sign getting a lot of their own cards, it means that you're staying true to your nature. And regardless of what happens, regardless of what other people think, if you're staying true to your nature, you're on the right track. You stepping into your power is the best thing you can do. Okay. We also have the Empress coming out. Now, pregnancy or themes of fertility and sexual health could be important for the rest of January, just throwing that out there. At the back of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups reversed. So some Taurus energy here, some Leo energy in the rest of your January. This theme is definitely about your well-being with the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck. It's about you trying not to overthink things and simply being ready to take action when you need to. There's something weighing on your heart over here that could have to do with a mother figure or an important feminine energy in your life. However, it's in direct correlation to how you see yourself. There's this feeling here of I can't live with myself if I don't do this. So before the end of January, you're being called to take some hasty action and to respond and react quite quickly to some last minute news, some last minute information with this Knight of Swords. that action is going to be in line with your values and with what is going to make you feel right within yourself. But there's a tinge of your well-being being impacted by this. The news may be quite last minute and it kind of disrupts you in some way, but ultimately you rushing to do something here is what is going to help you feel like, okay, I'm proud I did something. I'm glad I followed it through. It was hard, I didn't have a lot of notice, but I pulled it off. Now, for the sun to be here, there is some sort of connection to childhood or to your inner child here. And you really care about what people are going to think if you do or don't do this. The Empress is saying there's a sentimental aspect to why you need to react so quickly. It's important to you from a values-based position, but it's also an important part of how you define yourself growing in the future. You have to be able to do this in order to see yourself as a successful, abundant, fruitful person in the future. So we're taking care of ourselves in this process, but we're also considering somebody else's opinion of us and how they see us, making sure they see us in a good light, making sure our reputation and the type of person we are to them is positive. So it's very important. There is a tinge of sadness here, but honestly, this is nothing to be worried about. It just feels like it's going to be very last minute. You're reacting quite quickly to whatever this is here. So that's what I'm seeing with the sun. Let's have a look at your complications over here. The only reason this is a complication is because as your reader, it's going to be a complicated breakdown. But I actually see this as being positive to your journey. So I'm interpreting it biasly. It's not complicated for you. Now, the first card that we're bringing to your attention is this 9 energy. The 9 energy is I want to say like the crux of self in this deck. It feels like it is about obtaining as much wisdom and experience within your soul, as well as within your mental, within your human body, within your instincts. These are big themes to tackle in such a short period of time. So it's highly likely that this theme started before the next 2 weeks and it's going to continue after the next 2 weeks. But this 9 energy is very similar to the Hermit in the tarot deck for what the Hermit represents on a spiritual level. It represents themes from the 9th house as well, the idea of expansion and following what your soul feels called to experience. So in the next 2 weeks, there's an element of your energy kind of being up in the air. As much as you have fast reactions to this theme and you have this conversation weighing over you, you also have your own spirit begging for flexibility and freedom. There's part of your spirit, Gemini, that in the next 2 weeks is saying, keep your options open. Don't feel too tied down by what other people are doing and their expectations of what you should be doing. Make sure that you're prioritizing enough room and flexibility in your plans for things to change in a positive way. And the way that this is showing up is we have Aries and 11 here. In the next 2 weeks, you could be seriously considering a brand new beginning and trying to really make the most out of a new opportunity that you have. With Aries and 11, this new opportunity could be quite big. It could resemble something that's going to impact multiple areas of your life. It could start as being a new idea for a new job, but that job could require relocating, which could impact your lifestyle, which could change the amount of time you spend with your family and friends, which could ultimately shift your priorities, your values, and your plans for the next 5 years. So you can see how with that example, we're looking at a flow-on event, almost like is it a butterfly effect, where one thing ripples out and impacts the next thing and the next thing and so on. Now, I do think that the ideas for this started before this reading, and in the next 2 weeks, you're having the opportunity to kind of plan this out a little bit more. This 9 energy is very personal. It's not something that we openly communicate to everybody. When we have these moments in our life, we like to sit with the information first. We tell our close confidants, or in your case, you'll tell whoever you feel inspired to tell at the time, but you don't need to keep those people in that conversation. You don't need their validation to feel confident enough to take action, and you won't be needing their input in order for you to be successful. This is a very personal choice for you, and it's a very personal choice for you to expand. So the key developments that I see happening is you getting more information about how this new opportunity is going to impact the different areas of your life. And to be honest, it feels exciting. For Aries to show up, we are excited. We're feeling really passionate about how this could positively impact us. And we're also imagining all the different ways our life could improve. So let's get some tarot out now to really break that down. Spirit, what is happening with this 9 energy for Gemini? What is happening with this 9 energy? Okay, we got 2 cards straight up, so I must be talking for a while if Spirit's like, stop. At the back of the deck is the Page of Wands in the upright position, okay. And the 2 cards that came out for you, sweet soul, we have the 10 of Wands and the King of Pentacles, both upright. My God. All right. So with the Page of Wands, what I want to say is the overarching theme here is expansion and experience. There's something about this journey that you're on that feels like you haven't had a lot of experience doing it before. You may have had to relocate, change jobs, but this is different. This has you feeling like you're inexperienced, like you don't really know what's going to happen. And there's elements to that inexperience that feel exciting, but there's also elements to that that can be daunting. So it really just depends on your mindset and how you interpret this. But overall, you're showing up as someone who's quite inexperienced when it comes to this new beginning. I feel like this has to do with more than just your money, but it definitely is going to impact your sense of wealth and status in this lifetime with the King of Pentacles. I really feel like you're thinking deeply about what you want to feel proud of in this life and how you can really make a name for yourself, whether that's within your business, within your career, or just within your family ties. You want to feel proud of yourself, and you want key figures in your life to be proud of you. So you're thinking about ways to be more stable, to be more in control of your material world, so that you're not having to worry about what you're spending your money on. And you want to feel like you have a healthy stream of income. That's what's inspiring these ideas. You're also weighing up how much work is involved in being that successful with the 10 of Wands. This is what we're deliberating in the next 2 weeks. And this is why the deliberation is very personal, because we feel like it's going to take a lot of work. We feel like it's going to require maybe some sacrifices in the beginning, but it's definitely going to take a lot of effort. And it's going to be something that gives us a lot more responsibility than what we've been used to. So we're trying to weigh up, well, when do we want to implement these changes, and what is that truly going to look like for us? I do think you'll be communicating with somebody, but you're very selective about who you communicate when it comes to this. So that person is likely to be someone who can keep your mindset positive. You don't want to talk to someone who's going to burst your bubble just yet. You want to talk to someone who keeps that passionate fire going. So someone who may be just as inexperienced as you, who you can confide in to get that boost of morale, is likely who you're going to communicate with. But to be honest with you, for 2 Wands cards to show up, a lot of this process is going to be organic in that it's running off of your momentum. If you can keep momentum and energy in this, it is naturally going to expand and grow. If you start to lose momentum, lose motivation, lose energy, and not put much into this, it's going to lose its ability to grow. So if you just keep on the path that you're on, this is going to start to become something that you'll naturally be needing to take action towards. I don't think there's any advice here except just pointing out the fact that this is a big part of your next 2 weeks, and this is a big part of what you're dealing with when it comes to these other two major themes too. These two themes over here that we've been talking about, they are more on a conscious level. They are things that other people are noticing about you. They are things that your loved ones will say, hey, how did that go? How did that conversation go with that person? How did that action go? Last time I heard, you got off the phone and you were getting ready to catch a last minute flight. But people don't know about this. So people are looking at this part of your life, Gemini, and they're going, wow, you're dealing with a lot. But they have no idea that you're carrying all of this as well, that you're really trying to think beyond the veil of their perception of you. So it could be helpful for you to remind yourself of that so that you can kind of understand where other people come from as well. You're coming through as a bit elusive, like you're keeping a low profile, and it's a bit hard for loved ones to try to find ways to support you. So keep that in mind. If you want more support, you've got to consider how much you're willing to share in order to gain that support. And there's a big part of you that feels like you just want to be alone as well. So it's really up to you. But that is what I'm seeing for you, Gemini. I'm going to call your reading there so I can reset for the next sign. I hope this was helpful, informative, and at the very least entertaining. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you again. Before we go wherever you're going, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Look after your beautiful self for the rest of January, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye.